Hey man, this album is looking kind of cool so far, right?
Well, so far, it's kind of it's getting it's standing up. All right, well, we got elephants and flowers. So is this going to let us down, or is this going to take us to the next level?
Let's go. Let's
Let's
see.
go. All right, elephants and flowers.
Well, um, you know what? I kind of like it.
Oh,
I kind of like it. I mean, it's
okay.
not the greatest Prince track. I like his vocal delivery on it. He's kind of going for a raspy vibe on it, and I kind of like that. Yeah, it's not the worst. I don't really need to listen to it again.
Yeah,
I don't need to put it on any compilation that I'm making, but hearing it again for the first time in years, I remember liking it at the time. I remember
mm,
at the time I did like this track, and I like it. I still like it. It's cool.
yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
say. It's just a cool track. You know.
Elephants and flowers, man. For me, it's just the stuff that I like to. It's just like Prince.
Go on, say what you want to say.
Oh man, it's just it's not terrible,
Right.
but it's just I just find it a little bit monotonous. The loop
Yeah, I
is
hear that.
just
I hear that.
monotonous. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
really,
yeah. It doesn't really go anywhere. I hear
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. True. That's true.
If you
I
found
could.
something good and thought that sounds cool, I'm gonna make a track out of it. I'm
You,
surprised that isn't some obscure kind of bootleg from the era that didn't make the album. I'm surprised it made the album.
you know what? You know what I have to say. As you were saying what you're saying, even though I still stick by that. I liked it then, and kind of like it, still like it now because I
Mm.
like his delivery, given a little different vocal delivery on there. But I would say a really is an album filler.
Yeah, yeah, it's a filler.
That's a filler.
It's a filler.
He never ever made fillers. Like, there's not for me anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
All the early works, there
Yeah,
was no filler for me.
no.
This is a filler. It's okay. I can, till the next track, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that said, let's go to the next track.
Let's go to the next track. There's no need to say I hear
Because
anymore.
I know you're gonna bust up some bombs on this one. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you. Don't do it, bro. Don't
Uh,
do it. Don't destroy people yet,
well,
man. Because you know the Prince Army coming for you, man.
I know they're coming. That's why we're in disguise. Listen,
Yeah.
elephants, no. Sorry, I'm hanging on. Round and round. Tevin Campbell, round and round. So, Tevin Campbell,
Ouch. Ouch.
round and round. I'll just say this. I hated it then and I hate it now. It has no place. For me, it had no place on the album. I didn't like Tevin Campbell's voice. I didn't like the whole idea of Tevin Campbell being in the album. This young, I guess he was trying to break the R&B scene with a young guy. It's just Prince. If I want to hear R&B, you're not the man. I'm sorry, you're not the man. I'm gonna go to Teddy Riley in at that time, or other producers, who were hot. But I'm sorry, but this track for me is when I heard it the first time, I was like, what is this? I was never big into R&B anyway. Maybe that was part of the problem. It's a sound that just doesn't really work for me anyway. Generally speaking, not to say definitely artists and tracks I like, but generally I don't lean towards R&B music. So yeah, it was always going to fail for me. So that's a flop. That's a flop. What say you?
I thought Tevin was really cool. His vocals were good for a kid coming out. I really liked his voice. I was like, yeah, go on, Tevin, do your thing. We've had throughout music history, we've had, obviously Michael. We like, people like the little kid that can blow, that can sing. You know. Yeah, I liked Tevin. I did kind of like the track, but I have to say, I do not like it on a Prince album. This should have been on Tevin's album only. I don't know if it was, maybe it was as well, but not. I know it was a soundtrack to the film, and he was in the film, and maybe that's the problem. The film was so corny and it was so bad that the time, no pun intended, where he should have had everybody on the soundtrack was Purple Rain. When he should have had the time on that, he should have had Dez on that. It should have been all the music that was in the film should have been on that soundtrack. That would have
Yeah,
been an
yeah,
awesome soundtrack. All the incidental music, all of that. And it was really just a Prince album.
mm,
It's his thing. I get it, but it would have been an incredible piece of
yeah.
work if they had put every piece of music from the film on that Purple Rain soundtrack. I know we're not discussing
Mm,
Purple Rain, but like this is a soundtrack, and no, the songs ain't good enough. The songs are not good enough. They just are not good enough. As I said, I talking about this particular song, I like it. I like Tevin Campbell, but I don't like it in on this body of work that we're discussing today.
there you go. So let's just move on, I guess, to the next track. And I think we're gonna move on to a savior. The savior has come. The cavalry have arrived. We can funk. George Clinton and Prince
Let's hear
together.
it.
So, all right, let's listen to this
Oh
track. We
Lord.
can funk.
Oh Lord. Ouch. That's what I'm talking about, man. That is what I'm talking about. The man goes off. He just goes off. He just goes off and he just keeps going and going. That track is so insane. It's great. I love it. I remember it then, and it just brought back all those memories of why that dude was so bad. I mean, wow, what a track. He just keeps going, he just keeps going, he just kept, and he's just taking you for the ride, and you can't get any more. And man, what a track. What a track. Before I finish, I just have to say, George, the Grand Master, on a track with Prince. I mean, you open up a dictionary and you look for funk, you're gonna see probably James Brown's picture first. Then you see George Clinton and you see Sly. Now, for me, George and Sly, they can, their phrasing alone, the way they phrase words, they can say anything. They can sing anything. They can sing a phone book and it sounds funky. Those guys are so amazing. But yeah, this track, I mean, had all the tricks of Parliament in there, the girl vocals. I mean, just what a track. I mean, there's the opening. What a nasty song though. I mean, I'm gonna let you go, but boy, I'm just still bubbling over this track, right? And it's gonna take the show over time, but I just have to say this. Weekend Funk, right? He goes, I'm testing positive for the funk. I'll gladly pee in anybody's cup. That's what them guys were coming with. I'm testing positive for the funk. I'll gladly pee in anybody's cup. I mean, these guys, I mean, like, I can hear Prince being in the studio probably thinking, I gotta come with it. With George right there, I'm gonna come with his style, how he opens the track. I'm like, yeah, he had to go in. Boy, what a track. I couldn't do a show on this track alone.
Man,
What a track. Bro, Justin Wonderful, stop me because I'm just gonna go off.
man.
I'm gonna overflow.
On this
I'm
track
gonna overflow.
alone, you could do a whole show. Bro, listen, I
Bad,
can go off. So this track
bad
is
track.
so heavy. The
Ooh,
funk, the grit, the dirt, the nerve, you know, it's all in there. It's just like you say, the
yeah,
opening lyric. I'm testing positive for the
yeah.
funk. I'll gladly pee in anybody's cup.
I mean,
I mean, and I think it goes on to say, and when the cup overflows, I'm testing positive, then I'll pee some more. I mean, George Clinton.
Oh
I
man.
mean, the
Yeah.
track's just, it's just, it murders from the first beat. It just, I mean, I can't say enough. This track is a Prince top 40 track for me.
It's a bad track,
It's a
bro.
Prince
I
top
mean,
40
you
track
know,
for me.
supported with George in the back there, you know.
Like you
I know
mentioned,
I've know they've done other songs together. I mean, we probably touched those, but right now
yeah,
on this album, wow, 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 wow.
murder.
Listen, listen, bro. Was this song not called something else?
Yeah, it was called We Can Fuck back in the day.
I knew it was a stinky song. I
And he
knew it was
watered it down,
nasty.
yeah.
Them boys were nasty with this track.
He was
And
nasty, man.
have you heard the original when it was called that?
I've heard the original, yeah, and George is
Yeah?
on it. It's dirty,
Uh,
it's gritty, it's raw.
okay.
It's out there. It's out there. The original Weekend Funk. Check it out,
I
guys.
haven't heard the original, but
Yeah, it's gritty, it's dirty, it's like almost on a tape, like recorded off a tape.
nice.
It's not as
I
fleshed out,
probably
obviously.
I
Stripped
probably
back.
love it
Yeah, you probably love it. Yeah, it's a good track. But
even
I can
more.
go on. Let's just say this track for me is a top 10 killer. This is what I would consider a top. If you would call it these tracks out of 10, that would be a top 10 track for me. Top 10 track. George is
Yeah,
on it. It's
yeah,
funky. The
yeah,
lyrics are crazy.
yeah.
You know, Prince just goes off layering himself upon layering himself at the end of this.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
I've
I'm
got to take
holding
a
on to my
breather.
hat now, bro. I'm holding on to my hat.
Oh, man. Listen,
Yeah. Oh,
we got to keep going. We got a lot of tracks to listen to. Okay, so the next track is Joy in Repetition. I used to think this track was called Joy and Repetition. For a long, I used to sing Joy and Repetition. I never really paid much attention. But looking at it, yeah, it's Joy in Repetition. So, all right, Joy in Repetition.
There's joy in repetition. There's joy.
wow. Oh my days, man. This guy. I mean, how many people can make you cry from their guitar alone? The guitar work on this alone. I mean, there's so many things to say about this track that yeah, I remember it. I haven't heard it in ages. It's great hearing this is I'm so glad we're doing this, bro. I'm so glad we're doing this show. If it's just me and you and I here doing just this, I'm happy. This is it for me.
Oh, man.
It's just vibing. Man, what a track. Okay. Um I'm gonna try and start from the top. I'm gonna have to go in a little bit on this one because it, probably the highlight along with the George's track. But like there's a line in it where he says that he says live music from a band plays a song called Soul Psychedelicide. The song's a year long and had been playing for months. I mean, this dude knew how to write
Yeah,
lyrics, man. He's so underrated as a lyricist. I don't hear a lot of people talking about his lyrical skills. I know
yeah,
he was really into Joni Mitchell, and she was also someone because he did
yeah,
this a lot as well, where he could take you right to that place. You can conjure up images
yeah,
and you're there. You know, Joni did the same. Joni did a lot of that. I'm a big Joni Mitchell fan. I
yeah,
got
yeah,
into Joni, I think, through Prince, actually, like reading an interview, and I was like, oh, I gotta check this woman out. And actually, her music was in the background through my parents, I think, as well. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was just there. Like my parents listened to lot of cool music. Um, but yeah, staying on track. After all, we stay on track. Joy and repetition. It's just so many layers to this
Mm,
song, and you know, it's such a beautiful track. Also, what I like about the track, there are a lot of words. It's so clever. There are a lot of words where he just repeats certain words. There's a lot of repetition within the track of certain words like joy, love me. There's lots of words that he's repeating all the time. Oh, wow. Yeah. He's a bad mama. Shut your mouth.
Yeah. Killer.
Yeah. Just like goose pimples.
Yeah. It's one of those tracks. Joy and Repetition. When I first heard it, Joy and Repetition, and I remember the standout tracks. We'll get to standout tracks later, but Joy in Repetition is just a beautiful track. The atmosphere,
the club, yeah.
The world he creates in that one track is just the world, and you're transported there. It's just the soul psychedelic side. I feel like I can see what they look like. They look like Maserati to me. Actually, that's what I saw Maserati when I saw those guys. I just love that track. It's just one of those songs that will always go on a tape. Beautiful. And that's the reason why I love Prince. If someone was like, "Why do you like this guy so much?" Well, listen to Joy and Repetition. Listen to the construction of this track. The way the lead goes off, and okay. So what we got next up? We've got Love Machine. Let's check out Love Machine. I don't really remember Love Machine, so let's just let's check it out. All right.
I got the choice to turn your body out.
Well, Ingrid's vocal on this track is quite seductive. I like it. It's quite sexy. But as a time track, no, I never thought I would not like a time track. I never thought I'd ever say those words. But I remember when this was around, I was like, no.
Yeah.
And now, no. That's all I got to say. No. The time? Are you serious? No. The time. I don't want to hear any more to hurt where I placed that band. They're superheroes, The Time. One of the greatest bands of all time. One of the greatest. I was fortunate enough to see them in London only for 45 minutes. I don't know if any of you people were out there at that time. Absolutely. And saw that as well at Hammersmith. And yeah, that was awesome. But we were shortchanged because it was just literally 45 minutes was over and they were gone. I think it was a promotional for the Pandemonium album, I think. Awesome. It was like just starstruck, smashing, and was able, through a great friend of mine, Dimith, I think it was Dimith, that gave me some tickets for the after party. So I got to meet Morris, and Terry Lewis was there, and Karen White was there as well. But no Jesse. I was waiting to see Jesse because Jesse is one of the superheroes. Let's not mess around, people. Jesse Johnson, man, Jesse, we love you, Jesse. You're one of the. Hey, yeah, that's another show. Jesse Johnson, Andre Simone.
We're coming for you, Jesse. We're coming for you, bro.
Yeah, those guys, superheroes.
They're marks.
And they're alive. Superheroes. Anyway, no.
Yeah, the track's rubbish. Let's go for the next one.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.